Hello students, in this video I will go through exercise U6A03B where I will be solving for arcs and chords. Alright, so the instructions here says find the length of the segment indicated. Round your answer to the nearest tenth if necessary. I'm going to work on only the even questions as they are very similar. So I noticed that I have a couple of different chords here. I see two diameters and I see two other chords. I noticed that that this length x stems from the center, so therefore x must equal to 14. Okay. Question number 4. Again, x here represents the radius, and I noticed that the radius here, or the diameter, is 36, as I see 18 and 18. X here, once again, is equal to 18. Okay. Alright, things are getting a little more interesting. So now I'm told the length of the diameter is 35.4, therefore this radius then must be half of that. Right? So that means this is 17.2? No, 17.7. Right. So if that's 17.7, then I can figure out what x is, because think about it. The full length is the radius. X plus 6.6 is equal to the radius, which is 17.7. So if I subtract both sides by 6.6, x will end up being 11.1. Alright, question number 8. So I have this length is 5.8, this length is 9.3, and all together they make up the radius. So if I add 9.3 plus 5.8, making up the radius, and I'm asked to find out what the diameter is, I'm just going to double this. So 9.3 plus 5.8, that would be 15.2. 2 times 15.2 is 30.4. So x is equal to 30.4. Did I get that right? No, I did not. See, my Achilles heel is not being able to do basic arithmetic. So 8 plus 3 is 11. 9 plus 5 is 14 plus carry to 1, that's 15.1. So that means this would be 30.2. Okay. Alright. So in this question here, I know that this is going to be a right angle because that straight line, the other side is 90 degrees. So therefore, this side length x must be equal to the square root of 16 squared plus 7.1 squared. Let's enter that into the calculator. Whoops. 16 squared plus 7.1 squared. That would be 17.5. Alrighty. So that's just a right angle in there, and that's the radius. So that's a right triangle. X squared plus 9 squared is equal to 11.4 squared. X will therefore equal to the square root of 11.4 squared minus 9 squared. Let's enter that into the calculator. So square root 11.4 squared minus 9 squared. That would be 6.997, or 7.0, if rounded to the nearest tenth. Okay, the radius is 13.9, so that means this must be 13.9. So again, x squared plus 13.1 squared is equal to 13.9 squared. Subtract both sides by 13.1 squared and take the square root. I end up with 13.9 squared minus 13.1 squared. So square root 13.9 squared minus 13.1 squared. That would be 4.64 or 4.6. $13.9, 13.1. Yep. Okay. So here, notice that the radius here is 18.4, which means this is going to be 18.4. And if that's 18.4, I can then solve for what this little segment is, which I'm going to call y. And if I can solve for that, if I can solve for y, I know then x plus y is equal to 18.4. So I'm going to solve for y first. So y squared plus 16.6 squared is equal to 18.4 squared. Y is equal to square root of 18.4 squared minus 16.6 squared. What will y equal to? Square root 18.4 squared minus 16.6 squared. And that's equal to y, right? So 7.937 is y. So x plus y is equal to 18.4. So x will equal to 18.4 minus 7.937. So x is equal to 18.4 minus that number, which is 10.46 or 10.5, approximately, rounded to the nearest tenth. Okay, and we're almost there. So 8.7, so therefore this must be 9.3, because the diameter is 18.6, and 8.7 is over here. So I can again solve for y. This is basically the same problem as before. So y squared plus 8.7 squared is equal to 9.3 squared. Subtract both sides by 8.7 squared and take the square root. 9.3 squared minus 8.7 squared, square root of that. So let's see what that is. Square root of 9.3 squared minus 8.7 squared, 3.286. And x plus y is equal to 9.3. X will equal to 9.3 minus 3.286. 9.3 minus 3.286. 6.01, or just 6. And the last question of this batch here. So again, I can solve for y. Y squared plus 10.3 squared is equal to 12.8 squared. Subtract both sides by 10.3 squared. 12.8 squared minus 10.3 squared, and take the square root. $12.8 squared minus 10.3 squared. Square root is 7.5999. Okay, so it's 7.6. And x plus y is equal to 12.8. So x is equal to 12.8 minus 7.6. 12.8 minus 7.6 is 5.2. Okay. And then we have these questions here. Circle P has chords JK equal to 10. So JK is equal to 10. And minor arc 134. Find each measure, round to the nearest hundredth. Measures of arc JL. Okay, so JK is equal to 10. I know that if a chord is perpendicular to the diameter, it will be bisected. So therefore, JQ is going to be 5. And I know that LP is going to be LP is going to be 6. So what I really have is, let me draw it out. So JQP. JP is 6, JQ is 5. So therefore I can find out what QP is. Or actually, I don't want to find out what QP is. I want to find out what is the measure of arc JL. So therefore I need to know what is this angle over here. So in order for me to do that, I need to apply sine. So arc sine of P is equal to 5, 6. So therefore P is equal to inverse sine of 5, 6. So therefore JL will equal to angle P. So if I take arc sine of 5, 6, arc sine of 5, 6 is 56.4 degrees. And then I need to find out what is chord PQ. What is chord PQ? Chord PQ is actually only a portion of a chord. So in order for me to do that, that is simply the square root of, so PQ is the square root of 36 minus 25, which is PQ is equal to square root of 11 then. Alright. Circle A, the radius is 14 and CD is equal to 22. CD is equal to 22. Find each measure, round it to the nearest hundredth if necessary. CE is going to therefore be 11, because if a chord is perpendicular to the diameter, the chord will be bisected. ED is also going to be 11. I need to find out what is EB. So EB, so essentially what I have is, I have this situation. I have A, D, E. ED is 11. And the radius is 14, so therefore AD is 14. In order for me to find out what EB is, I need to find out what is AE first. So AE is going to be the square root of 14 squared minus 11 squared. That is AE. And then to find out AB, I will need to take 14 minus 14 squared minus 11 squared. So if I punch that into the calculator, 14 minus square root of 14 squared minus 11 squared, all in one step, 5.339. So EB is 5.339 or 5.3, because it says, oh, round to the nearest hundredth, so it's 5.34 then. Okay. And then the last question here. Circle H, the diameter is 10. LM is equal to 12. So LM is equal to 12. So therefore, this must be 6 and this must be 6. If the diameter is 18, that means this length must be 9 and this length must be 9. The goal is to find out what is arc LK, and to do that I will need to find the inverse sine of that central angle. So LK will equal to inverse sine of 6/9. Inverse sine of 6/9, 41.8. And the last question is to find out what is HP. So this is the situation. I have HP and L. LP is 6. LH is 9. So HP is the square root of 9 squared minus 6 squared. And that would be square root of 81 minus 36. 6.7. And that's it.